Mix 95.7. It is Big Joe and Laura welcoming you to the halfway point of the work week, April 17th. Hello, Laura.
Hello. Good Wednesday morning.
You know what? I don't know about you last night, but I kind of mad at myself. I knew it was going to rain eventually. I thought we'd actually have more of it right now happening, but it's kind of dry downtown.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh boy, I better clean up the dog poop and cut the grass because everything's been growing. I haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm like, I'll do it. I'm like, take a nap, Joe. You're tired, man. You get up early. You're tired. So I took a nap and just messed around and found out. And I ended up getting some work stuff I had to finish up. But I went out at like 7:40 last night. Sunset was like 8:20 or something like that.
Sure.
So I'm just cutting the grass so it doesn't look terrible. And it's like, the skies opened up like, let's reward him for delaying this when he should have done it when the sun was out. And I'm just mowing and I'm getting rained on the whole time.
Oh,
I'm like, why am I the idiot? People are driving by. And eventually when I was wet, I'm like, well, let's just keep on going.
Yeah, but I thought you were supposed to mow your yard when the grass is wet because it like clumps up on your mower blades or something. I don't mow the yard. I'm not allowed to run the lawnmower. So.
Laura, mistakes were made.
I was going to say, I thought that's like the cardinal rule of lawn mowing is not to do it in the rain for that reason.
Definitely not the greatest results, but it's done.
But it's
so there we
finished.
go. What about you? How was your day?
Pretty good. We did a lot of walking around, enjoyed the sunshine while it did existed. And then last night, little baby Justin slept in his own room for the first time. And Mom, my heart is a little sad and a little proud because, he wasn't in there with us. But I got my little camera set up, which I'm going to tell you, I'm not sure this camera's sticking around. We're going to talk about it coming up at 7:25. It's weird. It's makes noises I don't like, and it does a lot of things. And I've got proof of why I'm probably going to get rid of this camera eventually, but it did work for the night, and I can actually see him right now in my app, and he is still sleeping peacefully, which is very sweet.
Okay, I look forward to hearing about that coming up, around 7:25?
Yeah, 7:25, I'll bring that up.
All right, also this morning, of course, 30 grand in your hand. A little bit later, 8 o'clock, we give you your first code out of 10 throughout the day, and Laura Can't Lose. We got Big Joe's Jukebox. We got a lot going on. We'll tell you about the Need to Know News. That's what's going to be coming up next. Right now, though, it's Maroon 5, Girls Like You.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
The Detroit Red Wings needed a win last night and some help from other teams if they were going to make it into the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Well, they were able to make that first part happen last night.
Dylan Larkin on the draw against Evans. Scrambled face-off, comes back, quick shot. Scores! 3.3. David Perron! It's a tie game!
It's crazy. The past couple of games, they score with like 5 seconds left, just making everybody have a heart attack. Unfortunately, the other part didn't happen. The Washington Capitals beat the Philadelphia Flyers last night, so they were able to clinch that second wild card spot the Wings are trying to get in the playoffs, and, well, our season's over.
Oh, I wish I understood most of that, but I did understand that the Detroit Red Wings aren't going to the playoffs, and that makes me sad.
Are you saying I sounded like this?
Kind of a little bit. All right, the city of South Haven has approved permits for their first ever Pride celebration that's going to happen this summer. I love seeing a new community join in on all of this because I just think it's wonderful when we all include everyone in the community.
Oh, for sure.
They're calling it Pride in the Park. It's going to happen on Saturday, June 29th. Near the South Haven Marina at Stanley Johnston Park. Lots of family-friendly events kicking off around noon that day. They'll have food, vendors, a parade, all the fun stuff. If you want more details or you want to find out how you can volunteer and participate, you can get details right now inside our Mix 95.7 app.
And for our final Need to Know news story, let's head to Butte, Montana. Don't go there often. Where an elephant that was part of a traveling circus escaped and was running around the town.
Elephant walking down the road. Oh my God. Only in Butte.
The circus elephant got loose.
Where are you going, friend? And he's gone.
Oh, no.
That lady in the car, like, dude, I'm afraid the elephant would turn and like run over my car.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not messing with that elephant. I'm hiding somewhere far away.
Thankfully, nobody was hurt. They were able to catch the elephant, but not before it pooped on somebody's yard.
Oh, imagine having to clean that up. I'll let anyone's dog poop in my yard to avoid an elephant poop.
Oh, no doubt about it. That's Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
I'm really sorry I've been staring at my phone all morning long, but I can't stop looking at my little guy. Hey, it's Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. Mix. Yesterday, my husband and I installed a baby camera in our son's room. He is 5 months old. We're starting to transition him out of the bassinet into his crib because he's gotten too big. He started rolling. And so we got this camera for our baby shower that, I tried to do as much research and whatever as possible as a first-time mom, because obviously I don't know what brands are the best or which ones are the best. I don't have a lot of people I can ask about it, so I got on Amazon and I saw how they have the little Amazon's Choice
or like
best.
Amazon's Pick. Yeah.
So this one was the Amazon's Pick, and it even came with what looks like a little thing that you can wrap around the crib, so almost like a holder, so you can put it on there and everything. And I was like, this is the perfect camera. Well, we got it out of the box yesterday, and I think I'm going to have to either throw it away or return it or something, but I don't think this thing can stay in my kid's room for very long.
Why?
Okay, so I took video of this because I knew you wouldn't believe me about how creepy this thing sounds. But as I was starting to set it up yesterday, it tells you, hey, plug it in, and it's eventually going to make this sound.
Set up.
I didn't like that very much. It's a weird voice.
I think she just sounds a little aggressive,
Set up.
Yeah, kind of AI-ish, robot-y.
a little judgy.
Set up.
Yeah, I didn't like that. So I was like, okay, whatever. It's just the setup voice. That's fine. But then you get further into the process, and if it doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi, which it did not, or if it disconnects to the Wi-Fi from the Wi-Fi, this is the sound that it makes.
Problem.
Oh God.
And that audio doesn't do it justice. It is so loud. You can hear it throughout our house. We have hardwood floors, so it echoes through the upstairs. My husband could hear it downstairs when he was with the baby, and I'm like, I can't have this thing in his room. If that thing makes that buzzing noise that loud whenever he is asleep in the middle of the night, just play it again one more time.
Problem.
It sounds like the noise your phone makes when a tornado's coming.
Yeah, I expect the president to come on we are being attacked.
We no longer can see the baby.
That's very scary. But I guess maybe it's a good thing. If you're saying that's for the connection so it actually works, you'd want to know, hey, you're not connected to your baby.
Yeah, but I can't hear that in my room. Just the baby hears that loud, terrible noise. The way the rooms are set up, I can't hear him from my room. I can hear it in the hallway. I can hear it downstairs. But in our room specifically, you cannot hear him, which is why the reason we got this camera/monitor. But it also has all these other weird features. For example, it'll be I found a new face. And then it just sends me a picture of my son's face. It's been doing it all night long. He's currently still asleep. I can still look at him on the camera. But anytime he sits up and looks around, his little face will pop up and it's new faces appeared. And I'm like, I don't like this feature. And then every time he even moves a finger, it will send me an app alert. So all night, my phone was dinging and dinging and dinging because every single time he would slightly adjust himself at all in the crib, I immediately get a, hey, he moved. Oh my God. So I don't know if this is just what all of these baby cameras are on, and maybe I just don't like the features of baby cameras, or maybe there's one out there that you think is better. I would love to hear from you at 616-600-0957. But Joe, what do you think? As a non-parent, do you think this camera is a little bit sketchy? Do you think I made a bad purchase?
Well, I mean, this is a lot. But at the same time, though, I think it's good it alerts you. When you were talking about how whenever your baby Justin moves, you can see his face or whatever, there's his face detected. That'd be creepy if there was a face detected, but nothing was in the crib.
Oh, it says if a stranger face appears, we'll send you a message. And I'm like, I don't like that. How would a stranger face appear in the second floor of my home?
616-600-0957. If you wanted to call in and be part of the conversation, let Laura let her know what you think if she should get something different. That's 616-600-0957. I kind of like yours, though, that it detects faces. Last night, I was sitting out before it got all cold and rainy.
Yeah.
And our camera said, when I was in this chair, that a package was detected. Well, that package was me, so I felt kind of insulted. So, maybe it's not that bad, Laura.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Grand Rapids Brewing Company has decided to close permanently after a fire damaged its kitchen and HVAC system a few weeks ago. Now the contents from inside the brewery are actually going up for auction.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, everything from kegs, taps, and wall signs and more are going to be up for grabs. You can actually inspect the items from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow at the brewery, which is right there at 1 Ionia in downtown GR. Then that that same day, the auction will be running online from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you don't have to go there and look, but man, I kind of feel like you and I are right here. Let's walk over there tomorrow and see if we can get something for the studio.
Yeah, no kidding. You think we can get some taps and a keg? Do you think the bosses will mind?
Who cares? They don't come in here anyways. You can get more details about this in the Mix 95.7 app.
Okay, we talked about it yesterday, but obviously Caitlin Clark is one of the most famous athletes in the world right now, male or female. She got picked number 1 overall for the WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever, which is pretty cool because that means we might be able to road trip and go see her next season. But here's the crazy thing. You think she's set up because of this, right? Like, you're the number 1 athlete in the world. You're like Michael Jordan. You're going to make tons of money, right?
No, it has to be. Yeah, number 1 picks get paid well in sports.
Well, not really. Not in women's basketball, unfortunately. Over the next 4 years, she's going to make about $338,000. And you're thinking, I wish I made $338,000 over 4 years. Just to give you an idea, the guy who makes the least money in the NBA, he's on the Toronto Raptors. He makes $289,000 a year.
To sit on the bench?
Yeah, to do nothing. And she makes less in her 4 years as a pro than 3 of the NBA mascots make in a single year, including the Denver Nuggets, Rocky the Mountain Lion. He makes $625,000 a year. How do I get that job?
I think they deserve to be paid that much if you got to wear that stinky outfit every day.
Oh, absolutely. But so does Caitlin Clark. I'm not mad that Rocky actually is compensated well. I'm mad that Caitlin Clark is making way less. I mean, I guess she doesn't have to wear the stinky suit, but that's not the point. It's a little disappointing to see. I know she'll bring a lot of money into Indiana, and hopefully she'll end up making her fair share in a few years, but it's just a friendly reminder that we as women are definitely still not making as much as the dudes do.
Hearing that story is great, but now I can't stop thinking about, like, what does Crash from the Whitecaps make?
I think the minor league ones don't make nearly that much based on people I've known that have done that as a job, but you know what? Honestly, I would take it as a side hustle happily.
And your final need-to-know news story, going to another sport in Ohio, where the Cleveland Monsters honored a man for saving a kid from a stray puck at a recent hockey game.
I just saw it was like wobbling and whatnot, so I was like, oh God, the first thing I got to do, first instinct is protect the kid, jump in front of it. I just kind of went off to the side and it actually hit me like on the inside of the hand right here.
And after he caught the puck, he told me that the empty seat next to him was his seat too. If I was him, I would have been switched seats.
I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Wow, that's insane. Kudos to this man for stepping up and doing that. He did not have to. It's not his kid. So may he get the key to the city or whatever you do when that happens.
I think they're just giving him tickets to a game, but that's pretty cool too.
Listen, more than that, guys.
That's Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
It's time to play Laura Can't Lose on Mix 95.7. Here's how it happens. You'll have 1 minute to answer 5 questions. You can pass if you need to, and we'll come back if time allows. A tie goes to Laura because, well, her name's on the show. Here's who's playing Laura Can't Lose today.
Coming straight out of Grand Rapids, let's say hi to Nicole.
Good morning, Nicole. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, can't complain. We got $30 at the Michigan Lottery scratch-off tickets up on the prize block, hopefully for you to walk away with. Are you good at trivia? Do you think you're going to beat me?
I'm going to try my hardest.
You know what? That's the
I always
spirit.
beat you when I'm not actually on the radio with you, so I'm hoping that will transfer today.
You are the only person that's ever said that.
No, I think you'll do great, Nicole. I promise it's not as scary even when it's in real life versus the radio.
Okay, Nicole, I guess we can get this game going. You just got to kick Laura out of the studio.
All right, Laura, go and get.
All right, getting.
When that door closes, I will ask you question number 1. Here we go. Chris Martin is the lead singer of what band?
Oh, pass.
What is the name of the Hogwarts school headmaster in the Harry Potter series?
Dumbledore.
Question 3. Who played the character of Tony Soprano in the TV show The Sopranos?
Pass.
What is the name of the first satellite launched into space?
Oh my goodness, pass.
Question 5. Which Michigan city is known as the cherry capital of the world?
The cherry capital. Lansing. No idea.
Question number 1 again. Chris Martin is the lead singer of what band?
Chris Martin. I have no idea. Pass.
Okay.
I'm terrible at this.
It's okay. Question 3. Who played the character of Tony Soprano in The Sopranos?
Pass. I have no clue.
Okay. Last question, number 4. What's the name of the first satellite launched into space?
Satellite launched into space. Give me a name, Ezra. Give me a weird name. Jollifer. Chris Jollifer.
Okay.
That's what my 7-year-old said.
Okay, I'm going to bring Laura back in the studio.
Laura! La, 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 Laura!
All right, as Laura's walking back in the studio, Nicole, what do you do for a living?
I am a single mom, and I work for a cleaning company.
What's the weirdest thing you found in somebody's house when you were cleaning?
Food in the most random places. Like in bathrooms. It's really strange. Like you see people do it on like TV shows, but you don't think that people do it in real life. They do. It's gross.
All right. Well, I guess I don't know if I want Nicole to come over and clean my place. Who knows what she'll find in there. But Laura, if you would like to beat Nicole today, you do have a shot at it. Nicole was able to get one right.
Oh, no, Nicole.
I know. You guys really stumped me this morning.
Listen, I promise the pressure is a lot harder when you're in the seat, so don't feel bad about yourself.
Laura, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Question 1. Chris Martin is the lead singer of what band?
Coldplay.
Laura, you have taken a 1-0 lead.
Oh, no.
Going into question 2. What is the name of Hogwarts School's headmaster?
Dumbledore.
That is correct. Laura, you have taken a 2-0 lead and technically won the game, but let's continue anyways.
Keep going.
Question 3. Who played the character of Tony Soprano in The Sopranos?
Oh, I have no idea. Is it James Gandolfini or whatever that guy's name is?
I think it's Gandolfini, not Gandalf, but yes,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay,
I know
fine.
you're going there. Little
Like,
Harry Potter.
I know his name, but I've never watched that show.
You're missing out. 3-0 going into question 4. What is the name of the first satellite that was ever launched into space?
It's not Starlink, because that's the one for
Way before that.
SpaceX. Yeah, I actually have no clue on this one.
It was by the Soviet Union. It was called Sputnik.
Oh, yeah, duh. I did know that. I just didn't realize it was the first one. Duh. Yeah, okay, Nicole, I'm with out
Nicole,
there
what
with
did
you
your
on that
daughter
one.
guess? What did she throw out there?
My son gave me a random name, and I don't even remember what it was at this point.
Oh, no.
Oh, Chris Jollifer. He remembers.
Oh, okay. Well, that good guess, not right. It is 3-0 going into question 5. Which Michigan city is known as the cherry capital of the world?
That'd be Traverse City.
Dang, Laura, 4 right out of 5.
Traverse City Cherry.
Nicole in Grand Rapids, we love that you played, and we're sorry you didn't win.
I'm so sorry, Nicole.
That's okay. It was so much fun.
Well, Nicole, since you lost to Laura, you know what you got to do.
This is Nicole in Grand Rapids, and Laura just can't lose.
You want to take on Laura? Play Laura Can't Lose by calling us right now at 616-600-0957. That's 616-600-0957. So I have been to a lot of baseball games and sporting events, and you know what? I always enjoy them, and sometimes there's reasons to cheer and there's times to shout. But what happened this past weekend when I went to the Tigers game, I'm kind of curious to see what you think about this. Should parents quiet their kids if they yell and cheer at a sporting event?
Ooh, you're choosing violence with this one. You can always give us a call at 616-600-0957. Go ahead and explain yourself, Joe.
I was at the Tigers game, as I said, over the weekend, and I was seated by a group of several sports teams, like kids teams. I think there was a hockey team, a boys and a girls, and maybe a baseball team too. They just were all
cool.
doing like a team event.
Yeah.
And several times during the game, they got really excited and yelled and screamed. And it was at the top of their lungs, where it reminds me of going to like a Taylor Swift concert.
Like that.
Yeah,
okay.
it hurts your ears. So there was a woman that was seated behind me and Lindsay, and she got upset and told the kids shut up and to stop screaming because they're right in her ear. I get that. That does hurt. This mom heard that and said, "Don't you talk to my kid that way and mind your own business." And then she said, they go back and forth. She's like, "You shouldn't be at a sporting event if you expect people to be quiet."
I mean, she's not wrong.
Well, unless it's tennis, yes. Please don't be loud
yeah,
or
don't
golf.
scream during tennis
But
or
a
golf.
majority of them, yes, you probably get loud and cheers things on. It just got me thinking because everybody I talked to is kind of divided. What is the right thing here? Was that woman right to tell the kids to stop yelling and screaming, or is the woman that had the kid yell in her ear, or the mom that replied back, I guess, saying, "Hey, don't tell my kid to do that"? Is that okay?
Listen, I think that kids need a little more constructive parenting. I'm trying to say this in a way that's nice.
I know, like, what are you walking around lightly on?
I'm trying not to say that people don't take care of their kids well enough, but sometimes that is the case, and it's absolutely true. But I think in this case, The woman who was mad about kids screaming at a sports game that's outside, kick rocks, get lost. Are you serious? You are at a sporting event where there are loudspeakers, there are people cheering. If you are surprised that someone is yelling, oh my God, I can't wait until you go to your first concert, ma'am. That would be like being like, don't sing along. I want to hear Taylor Swift. Like, you are unhinged. You are completely narcissistic and you are selfish for thinking this way. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry it hurt your ears. But at the end of the day, the kids are having a good time. They're at a sporting event. You're supposed to yell and cheer. Maybe she's not a parent and that's why she did it. Because I'm going to be honest, as a parent of a 5-month-old, that screaming and stuff, I don't even hear it anymore because I have to hear it so much from my little guy that it just doesn't even faze me and bother me. So maybe if you're a non-parent, I can totally understand where the screaming and yelling might be a little overwhelming, especially if you have any sort of, sensory or auditory issues. But I'm sorry, you showed up at a baseball game and people are excited about the baseball game. What kind of a Grinch are you?
616-600-0957. Call right now and be part of the Big Joe and Laura show at 616-600-0957. Let us know if you think if that woman was right. Tell those kids to stop yelling and screaming, or if she was wrong. It's Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7. I was at the Tigers game with my wife, Lindsay, and there was a bunch of kids on different sports teams that were attending, and they were getting excited. The Tigers, before they blew it, actually were doing good.
Yeah.
And the kids were yelling and screaming. Honestly, it was ear-piercing, some of these kids. It felt like I was at a Taylor Swift concert.
Well, they're little guys and gals. Of course it's that loud. But we want to know, should parents quiet their kids if they're yelling and screaming at a sports event? We would love to hear from you always at 616-600-0957. Or you can send us a DM in the Mix 95.7 app like Christy in Grand Rapids, who said, the woman should have just got up and sat elsewhere. The last Michigan football game I went to, there were a bunch of drunk men behind us dropping the F-bomb every other word. I just ignored them. And Michelle in Plainwell said, I probably scream louder than most kids at the Red Wings game. So, listen, I agree with both of these women. I think that if you aren't going to yell at grown men who are screaming and cursing at sports teams, how are you going to get mad at some kids for being excited because they actually get to be there?
I think if a kid's going to yell and scream, they should at least have a beer in their hand.
Oh, come on.
Come on, you Tigers. No. To wrap it up, I guess kind of off topic, but you never know what you're going to find on Facebook. Christina left a comment saying, no, go home, Karen, as if that lady was being like in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Well, then a Karen replied, you know her name? No? Then please do not misuse mine.
Oh, no.
Christina just replied, clearly you were named appropriately.
Be nice in the comments of our Facebook page, please.
Dang, shots fired. It's Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7.